The signal strong today. 4 bars, steady blue light humming from the corner of Malik's desk. He leans back, coffee warm in one hand, stylus in the other, the quiet click of his tablet echoing in the stillness of his home office. This morning, like most, is peace wrapped in sunlight. Birds chatter outside his window. A breeze nudges the wind chimes on the porch. The digital brushstrokes on his screen bloom into another album cover commission, vibrant and wild. Freedom. That's what it feels like. Finally. After years of saving, sacrificing, and grinding through endless freelance gigs in cramped apartments, Malik finally owns something. A house. His house. In Rayton Ridge, a sleepy, cookie-cutter suburban enclave 20 minutes outside the city. It's mostly retirees, quiet families, and a sprinkle of HOA regulations that no one takes too seriously. At least, that's what the realtor promised. He stretches, glancing outside. Lawns trimmed to military precision. Porches adorned with flag banners and sun-faded wreaths. Mailboxes painted the same compliant gray. The only thing that doesn't match him. Malik is the only black homeowner on his cul-de-sac. That truth doesn't bother him, not today. He's used to standing out. He doesn't flinch at the second glances from dog-walking couples. He smiles first, tips his chin, keeps things light. But still, he notices how some neighbors wave a beat slower. How their conversations die mid-sentence when he walks by. Nothing overt. Nothing you could point at and name. But it's there. That tightness in the air. That invisible glass wall. Still, he's here. And he earned it. A sharp knock rattles the front door. Malik frowns, lowering his mug. It's 10:47 a.m. No deliveries expected. He opens the door. A woman stands on his porch with a clipboard clutched like a badge. She's maybe late 40s, bleached blonde bob curled into defiance, floral blouse tucked into stone-washed jeans. Her expression isn't friendly, it's fixed, like she's already offended. "Hi," she says, voice tight with authority. "I'm Karen, HOA President. You must be the new homeowner at 408. Malik nods slowly. "Morning. Yeah, that's me. Malik." She doesn't shake his hand. "I've been meaning to stop by," Karen says, already stepping closer to the threshold. "We've had some signal interference in the neighborhood, devices dropping off Wi-Fi, smart lights glitching. It started just after you moved in." "Okay," Malik says, blinking. "I'm not sure what that has to do with me." Karen tilts her head. Smiles without smiling. "Well, I'll need to check that your router isn't overpowering community bandwidth. Some folks around here have sensitive setups. For health reasons." Malik laughs, soft, confused. "I'm sorry, you want to check my router?" "Just the password. So we can do diagnostics." He stares. The air shifts. That was not a question. It was a demand dressed as a favor. Something cold stirs behind her smile. This feels small, petty. But Malik's gut says otherwise. Something tells him this is the opening move. The disturbance. And Karen. She's just getting started. 2 days later, Malik's Wi-Fi drops during a Zoom call with a client in LA. 1 second they're discussing color palettes, the next, frozen screen, spinning wheel of death, then silence. "Come on," he mutters, checking the router. Still blinking. Bars flickering between full and empty like it's being throttled. He resets it. Again. 4th time this week. Something's off. His service had been flawless the first few weeks. Now, ever since Karen showed up with her weird demand and clipboard crusade, it's been chaos. Spotty internet, his smart doorbell deactivated for a full hour yesterday, and his network name, NotForKaren911, keeps mysteriously reverting to its default. 3 times now. And he didn't do it. At first, he thought maybe it was just a glitch. Or maybe someone in the neighborhood had a strong signal and his router was overlapping. But Malik's gut has been whispering louder by the day. This ain't coincidence. It's deliberate. And it's starting to stink. He notices small things. His trash bins mysteriously dragged out of alignment by 6 inches, enough to earn a warning note taped to his mailbox. Per HOA rules, bins must be flush with the curb by 7 a.m. You were late. Consider this your first notice. No signature. But he knows who it's from. Karen. She's everywhere lately. Always outside. Always watching. Trimming hedges that don't need trimming. Talking to other neighbors in low voices, glancing toward his house. Sometimes she walks her dog 3 times past his porch in 1 hour, earbuds in, pretending to talk on the phone. Yesterday, Malik caught her standing at the corner of his property, just staring at his security camera like she was daring it to blink. It's the smile that bothers him most. That tight, polite smile she gives when their eyes meet. The kind that says, "You don't belong here, and I'm going to fix that." And still, he has no proof. Just bad Wi-Fi and worse vibes. That evening, Malik parks his car and finds a sticky note on his driver's side mirror. Your music was audible from the sidewalk today. Community standards require reasonable sound levels. His windows were closed. He'd been listening to jazz. He glances across the street. Karen is watering her roses in slow, exaggerated motions, hose in one hand, clipboard under her arm. Her eyes never leave him. The neighborhood looks unchanged. Peaceful, even. But something about it feels rigged, like a stage set where the shadows crawl just a second too slow. Malik's shoulders tighten. He's been here before. The tightrope walk. The silent tests. The judgment that comes wrapped in civility but drips venom underneath. They don't say it. Not out loud. But he hears it in the silence between their hellos. In the way they squint at him like he's buffering. Like he's the glitch. But Malik didn't work this hard just to fold. Not now. Especially not for Karen and her fake-friendly war. By the end of the week, Malik's patience is thin as printer paper. His Wi-Fi crashes again, during a live-stream art auction this time. The gallery director was mid-sentence, talking up Malik's newest piece, and bam, signal gone. The call drops. The auction freezes. Malik stares at his screen, heart thudding. His shot at landing a major West Coast collector, ruined. That's it. He yanks on a hoodie and storms outside, router logs loaded on his tablet. They show repeated login attempts from an external device. Someone's trying to access his network from inside the neighborhood. He knows exactly who. Across the street, Karen is coiling up her hose like she just solved world hunger, smug and deliberate. Malik crosses the street. "Karen," he says, keeping his voice even. "We need to talk." She turns, faux surprise plastered on her face. "Oh, hello, Malik. Everything okay? My internet's being tampered with. Again. Logs show repeated access attempts. My network keeps getting renamed back to default. I just want to ask, have you been trying to connect?" Her smile doesn't flinch. "Oh, heavens no. I wouldn't even know how. But you asked for my Wi-Fi password." She laughs lightly, as if he's being ridiculous. "That was a joke. You know, neighbors sharing resources? You tech people are so sensitive." "I'm not sharing anything," Malik says firmly. "And this isn't funny anymore." Karen's eyes narrow, but her voice stays honey-slick. "You know, Malik, I've had several complaints about your behavior lately. Loud music, lingering in your driveway, hosting questionable visitors." He blinks. "Questionable. I filed formal reports with the HOA. As acting communications chair, it's my duty to preserve the, shall we say, character of the neighborhood." There it is. The coded language. The veil drops just enough for him to see the sharp edge underneath. "Character," he repeats. "Meaning what, exactly?" "People who don't look like me." Karen folds her arms, clearly done pretending. "Meaning residents who respect the rules. Who belong." Malik stares at her. No more guessing. No more tiptoeing. He steps back. "Fine. You want rules. Let's play by the rules." He spends the next 2 days gathering evidence. Pulls security cam footage of Karen lingering by his router box, disguised as pruning her shrubs. Downloads network logs. Finds a Reddit post from a former neighbor who moved out after HOA harassment mysteriously targeting minority homeowners. He calls Denise, the neighbor 2 blocks over, a retired black nurse who's lived here 15 years. She shows him a drawer of HOA warnings she's received over the years: trash bins, flower colors, lawn height. All petty. All targeted. You think she's messing with your Wi-Fi? Denise asks, arms crossed. I think she's messing with everything. Denise nods. Then let's stop playing nice. By Monday, Malik's built a digital folder titled Karen Receipts. He prints a few key pieces, footage stills, log snapshots, copies of the anonymous HOA warnings, all matching Karen's stationery font. He files a formal complaint with the city's Neighborhood Oversight Committee and CCs the HOA board members directly. Then he changes his Wi-Fi name again. NotForKaren911. Bold font. Broadcast wide. The next morning, a fresh note waits in his mailbox. This one typed and signed, but the tone unmistakable. Your continued non-compliance with community decorum may result in further action. You have been warned. Malik chuckles bitterly. They think they can scare him. But what they don't realize is, he's not scared. He's preparing. And when the tables turn, he won't just expose Karen. He'll burn down the whole playbook she's hiding behind. Saturday morning. Sun sharp as a blade. Malik wakes to banging on his front door. He opens it to find Karen standing stiffly on his porch, flanked by two HOA board members in polos and khakis. One holds a clipboard like it's a weapon. The other just looks uncomfortable. Karen steps forward, voice clipped. Malik, we need to address your ongoing disregard for HOA guidelines. It's been brought to our attention that your Wi-Fi name is causing distress among neighbors. Malik folds his arms. Distress. It's hostile, Karen says. And inflammatory. A clear violation of community standards regarding neighborly conduct. He raises an eyebrow. You mean NotForKaren911? Her nostrils flare. Exactly. The older board member, Mr. Dwyer, clears his throat. Malik, we've received anonymous complaints. We want to handle this amicably, but if this behavior continues, we'll have no choice but to escalate. To what? Fines. Suspension of amenities. Malik replies coolly. All over a Wi-Fi name. Karen steps in front of the others, taking over. This isn't just about a name. It's about your attitude. Your defiance. You've been rude to neighbors. You're standoffish. You park slightly over the curb line. You host guests late into the evening. Frankly, your presence has become disruptive. Malik bites his tongue. She wants him angry. Wants him to lash out so she can play the victim. Instead, he exhales. Funny, he says. Because I have a very different picture. Karen sneers. Oh, please. Malik reaches behind the door and pulls out a thick envelope. This is a copy of the complaint I filed with the Neighborhood Oversight Committee. It includes footage of you tampering with my external router box while watering your plants. Log files showing repeated unauthorized access attempts from a device traced to your address. And a list of 12 identical HOA warnings sent to me and 3 other black residents, all typed in the same font, identical to the one used in your personal stationery. Karen's smile falters. Mr. Dwyer glances sideways at her. I also have a statement from Denise Waller, retired nurse, 15-year resident. She's been harassed with these same petty citations for years. All filed mysteriously without a board vote. Karen blinks. Her mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Malik keeps going. Plus screenshots of a Reddit post from a former neighbor detailing racial targeting under your so-called decorum enforcement. Their story, identical to mine. Karen's face drains of color. He looks at the board. And since none of this was formally approved by the HOA board, it falls under unauthorized action in an official capacity. That's misuse of HOA authority, bordering on harassment. Mr. Dwyer stiffens. Karen, is this true? She snaps. He's manipulating this. He's twisting everything to make me look racist. Malik stares at her, deadpan. You don't need help with that. Her voice rises, brittle and cracking. This is my neighborhood. I built this place. I know what's best for it. And yet, Malik says, stepping forward, you tried to hijack my internet. You sent anonymous threats. You targeted me. And now you're caught. Karen glares at him, eyes darting between the envelope and the board. For a second, she still thinks she might recover, might talk her way out. But it's too late. Behind Malik, Denise walks up the driveway, holding her phone. "City reps on the line," she says. "They want to hear about this in detail." Karen stumbles back like she's been slapped. Malik crosses his arms. "Still think I don't belong here," he says. Karen says nothing. She just turns and walks away. And the neighborhood watches. By Monday morning, Malik's Wi-Fi name isn't just a neighborhood joke, it's viral. Someone from the HOA community page leaked a screenshot of NotForKaren911 along with a clip from Malik's security footage. Karen crouched by his utility box, yanking wires with gloved hands, nervously glancing over her shoulder. Within hours, the video hits Reddit, then TikTok. Entitled HOA Karen Caught Sabotaging Black Neighbor's Internet Over Wi-Fi Name, racks up 1 million views by noon. Karen tries to run damage control. Posts a shaky statement in the HOA Facebook group. "I was gardening near the line and noticed a loose wire. I was merely being neighborly." No one buys it. Especially not when Denise posts her own footage. Karen placing a passive-aggressive letter in her mailbox 2 months ago, followed by 3 more, each unsigned but written in the same distinct, loopy cursive. The HOA board scrambles to hold an emergency meeting. Malik attends, arms folded, Denise beside him, a quiet fire in her eyes. Karen shows up late, flustered, sunglasses on indoors like their armor. She plops down and immediately starts talking over people. "It's all lies," she says. "Fabricated. AI can fake anything these days. This is character assassination." Malik doesn't flinch. He simply pulls out a USB drive and hands it to Mr. Dwyer. "It's not just footage," Malik says. "That's access logs, device IDs, timestamps, cross-referenced with her own smart home network. She used her phone to try logging into my Wi-Fi. Not once. 12 times. Over 2 weeks." Karen snaps toward him. "You hacked me." "Digital forensics," Malik says flatly. "I didn't touch a thing. I hired a cybersecurity auditor." The room goes quiet. Then Mr. Dwyer clears his throat. "Karen, this is serious. The footage, the letters, the Wi-Fi interference, it paints a picture of targeted harassment." Karen's voice sharpens. "This is outrageous. You're taking his side. Over someone who's lived here since the development broke ground." Her desperation bubbles to the surface. "You know what this is really about," she says, turning to the room. "He doesn't fit here. You're all just too scared to say it." He flaunts his attitude, his tech job, his sarcasm. "And then dares to make me the villain." She looks around, waiting for someone to nod. But the silence is deadly. Even her usual allies stare at the table, embarrassed. Mrs. Lancaster, the soft-spoken woman from 3 doors down, finally speaks. "Karen, we all saw the video." Karen turns red. "You think I'm the only one who's uncomfortable here?" But no one answers. Then the door opens. A man in a navy windbreaker steps in, flashes a badge. "Code enforcement," he says. "I'd like to speak with Karen Fellers about unauthorized tampering with telecommunications infrastructure. We received an official complaint and submitted a warrant to access the HOA surveillance archives." Karen goes rigid. She opens her mouth, then closes it again. The officer nods. "Please come with me. You're not under arrest, but you are under investigation. I suggest legal counsel." Karen's lips twitch. For the first time, there's real fear in her eyes. As she's escorted out of the room, her eyes lock on Malik's. She wants to scream, but her voice fails her. Malik just stands there, still, rooted, watching as the power she wielded like a weapon dissolves in real time. Behind him, Denise murmurs, "That took too long." He nods. But it was worth it. The HOA newsletter that used to ignore Malik's name now leads with it. Community thanks local resident for exposing harassment. Fellers resigns in disgrace. Karen's house goes up for sale within the month. The for sale sign appears one gray morning, flanked by an empty flower pot and a cracked Neighborhood Watch plaque. She never returns in person, just movers, gloved and silent, boxing up her life. According to a neighbor who accidentally CC'd Malik on the wrong email thread, her husband filed for divorce 2 days after the investigation opened. And her HOA position? Stripped. Officially banned from ever holding office in any neighborhood association across the county. It doesn't stop there. The city's code enforcement fines her $5,000 for utility tampering, and her former internet provider presses civil charges for equipment damage. Her homeowner's insurance doesn't cover any of it. She files a desperate GoFundMe. It doesn't crack $200. Most of the donations are jokes. Try minding your own business next time. Maybe rename your life to NotForKaren911. Meanwhile, Malik's Wi-Fi remains strong, and hilariously renamed again, KarenLaSone_5 GHz. His inbox overflows with support. Denise bakes him a sweet potato pie laced with so much cinnamon he tears up a little. Her daughter draws him a comic of Super Malik defeating Wi-Fi witch. But it's not just gestures. Something shifts in the neighborhood. People who once looked through him now stop to wave. Speak. Listen. One white neighbor, Mr. Cross, retired, war vet, rarely said more than mornin', approaches Malik at his mailbox. Gotta say, he mutters, scratching his neck, I didn't get it before. Thought maybe Karen was just strict. But after seein' what she did, what you went through, made me think. Malik raises a brow. Think about what? The man sighs. Looks at the sky like it might give him words. That I've been quiet too long. Letting folks like her act like gatekeepers. Guess I thought keeping peace meant keeping out of it. There's a pause. Thanks for not backing down, he adds quietly. You reminded the rest of us what integrity looks like. Malik nods. No anger. No smugness. Just peace. Later, he hosts a barbecue. Not for revenge. Not to flaunt victory. Just ribs, music, chairs on the lawn, and people gathered, laughing, connecting. Denise brings her famous deviled eggs. Kids run in circles with juice pouches. Even a few folks from 3 blocks over stop by. There's no HOA rep trying to tell him his grill violates some clause. No sideways glances. No one asking for his Wi-Fi password. He finally exhales. By sunset, Malik sits on his porch, solo cup in hand, watching golden light spill across his lawn. His speakers hum soft soul jazz. He leans back, eyes drifting shut. Peace feels like this. And across town, in a cold apartment filled with boxes, Karen scrolls through a comment section that won't forget her name. She hits refresh. Again. Hoping to find someone defending her. But the silence is louder than Malik's Wi-Fi ever was. Justice wasn't just served. It was streamed.